Hey everybody, welcome back to the Club Fin DJ interview series. I'm Stitcharoo and I got with me the lovely REVERiE, and we're gonna do the deep dive. Alright, starting off with the hard question, tell us a little bit about what you've done to prepare for your Club Fin set.
Um, so preparing, surprisingly enough, this set kind of honestly like flew out of me. I was actually surprised. I think I was just really excited and very honored to be accepted to play. It came together, and when I listened back, I was just proud that it came from me. I think it was like a
Nice.
huge breakthrough moment. It felt like, and
Just an oops all
uh,
Club Fin.
yeah, it's definitely like gonna be a perfect Club Fin set because it is the energy flow is good for a big kind of like main stage kind of a thing. But I'm just really excited about the whole process that I've selected. So gave it all my all, tried a couple things, and definitely shows. So uh, always trust your gut, I guess. Just wing it and go for it, and you'll be
Killer.
surprised.
Nice. And rolling into a little bit about what we were talking about in the previous interview, with you doing festivals and having that experience within the EDM circuit, what has been your experience with DJing? And have you ever DJed outside of VR at all? Or if not, what has your experience been like spinning?
Yeah, so I have DJ'd outside of VR. FWA this year is my first actual like con that I'm gonna be on stage. But I did play at Warehouse, the FWA Warehouse rave, and I played at Vibe Night had room party, big kind of room party that they did at Megaplex last year. Other than that, I have played. I do have something I'm doing in June too in person, but yeah, kind of like room parties. But I've done some stuff on VR. I did my first debut set September 23 at an event called Party, and that was super fun. And then I played at Placeholder, and I just debuted a collaboration project called Silk and Steel at an event called Headspace. Really fun.
Nice. What is your experience with the differences between real life and VR?
Honestly, it's it's really funny because like before I go on at VR, even though most of the time it's a pre-recorded set, I haven't played live on VR. I still get that kind of like nerve in my stomach, and even though I don't, it's just gonna be audio. I still get that feeling. But my experience in real life has been really humbling. Because you kind of realize that people are there to have a good time the same way you are, and when you've never played in person before, you're worried about messing up, right, making a mistake. But then you do it, and it's fine, and you just kind of laugh with everybody, and people like to see that you're human and that especially you're DJing live. So it's good. I love dancing and having a stage presence. So I do enjoy that a lot.
Um, so what was your inspiration to start DJing? What got you into spinning?
So I know I've talked about kind of like me going to festivals. I've been in the electronic music scene for over 15 years. Um been here for a long time. This is my home. Furry's also my home. So I love that converging how it converges. Yeah. It's getting so much better too. And so going to raves and shows and all that for 15 years, I just it became a super important integrated part of who I am. I've always had an ear for music and what sounds good. So I always had like it in my mind that I wanted to DJ. I'm also an artist. I draw, I paint, I'm a photographer. I do a lot of different types of arts. And I wanted to express myself with music so badly. It got to the point where it started to physically hurt me. So like as an artist, like in my head, I just wanted to create that. I call it painting with music. So I wanted to tell stories. And so the thing that really finally put it over was, and I started building my music collection before I got a controller because I didn't have the money for a controller. But my husband, 1 year for Christmas, got me one, and that
Oh,
was a couple years ago. So
what did he get you?
best present ever. It is a Native Instruments S2. So I call it my Game Boy. It's very small, but it's very
That's
special,
fair.
and it was really easy to learn on. Yeah.
So on top of that, like, do you have any mentors or people you're looking up to?
So my idol is Closey. She is a she's out there in the real world, not furry. But definitely I would recommend everybody checking her out. She is my biggest inspiration and idol. She's such a talented and unique artist. Her sound just hits so right, and it makes me feel the full spectrum of emotions. Other artists that I really love are Grizz, Whipped Cream, Rez, Odessa. Those are other top artists that I really look up to, and like their unique sounds and what they do with music, and it's just very artistic.
So yeah, check all those folks out. Bam. Moving on about your actual set that we're going to be listening to here. Are there any specific techniques that you're playing with?
Yeah, so um this as I was mentioning, I was trying things, just always trying to learn from prior things. And so something with this is I made sure to always keep a rolling bass. I know like that's just something that I've noticed really carries a sound. I play with heavy bass music, so if you take even a little bit of it out, you hear it. It's very obvious. And it's not that it's bad. It doesn't sound bad. It's just for this, for like my style that I'm going for, having that rolling bass. It can be tricky because it's a fun challenge when all your songs are like giant bricks of bass. So and you're trying to
Your waveform's
transition.
not a rectangle, do you even bass?
You're right. Yeah, and then you try to mix it into something that's like small, and it's like that's so overpowering, and then
Oh,
the bass just cuts. But so it's a lot of that. Just kind of knowing the genres that you're mixing, because I do play multiple genres in a set. I also go between tempo range a bit too. I go from like 65 to like 110. So
oh wow.
um over the course of a handful of songs.
Get your
it
doubles
somehow
out.
it somehow works. Yeah.
Halves and doubles.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. And on top of that, like you mentioned one controller, what is some of the software and do you have other hardware that you're using as well? Do you have any like MIDI controllers or anything else?
I don't have any other controllers yet. Yet. I
Yeah,
am definitely
right?
ready to have more than 2 decks. So
Uh,
hopefully I would love to play with the launch pad. That's what Closey uses, and I'm super inspired by her. So someday, I use Tractor as my mixing program. So um, would love to learn Record Box at some point, but at the moment it's Tractor, and I'm very happy with it. So just definitely want more decks and cue points, honestly.
yeah. Have you seen the Fighter 3D? The MIDI Fighter 3D?
Yes, I have. I wanted to like check that out. That's actually on my radar. As
Ye-
something I like
It's
I
like a
use
launch pad.
that's yeah, that's probably like my next big buy. I think I would really enjoy that. Because even if you only have 2 decks and you have a launch pad, you could do a lot of stuff with that. For my headphones I use Audio Technicas, and they're teal. So they're really pretty.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh man, actually, I don't think we had very many people talk about their headphones. That's super interesting.
Oh,
What
that's
do you
the
like about
really
the Audio
important part.
Technica? Right?
um Bass. I love the bass. So like it's I also have some of the inner ear ones that I got my partner, but we haven't actually tried them out yet. But the Audio Technicas, I really like the way that they have the bass, like they carry the bass, so it's like you don't have to rely on speakers or subs. Everything is very leveled still, so you can mix really intricately. Nothing
Is
is
it a
like
full wire
muddy, so
plug?
it's a really good yeah, you can get Bluetooth ones though. I just have the wire, and it comes with 2 different cords, so you have a long one and then a corded one. So,
Ah, the
really
curly one.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Which I've already, like, uncurled, like, 10 times, and it's just
Here.
so messed up at this point
Oh,
from
no.
dancing with it. It
Right.
still works.
Oh man, have you ever had the experience where you're, like, going so hard on the DJ decks, the cord flops up on top of the deck and hits a button?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to disable my fader bar because that keeps happening.
Oh, no,
Like, the
the
little one that,
fader
like
bar, oh.
yeah. I have to be I've also, like, ripped off, like, like, the little, like, levers on the fader bars and stuff like that too,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah,
I
easy.
actually glued them down with silicone glue because I was like, "Stay."
Oh, no.
Like, 'cause, it's a used controller, so whatever.
That's fair, that's absolutely fair. And, wrapping this up here, I'm gonna ask you the same question that I end all these interviews with, because we have a lot of furries that are really inspired and they love seeing DJ and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and they may wanna try it out themselves. What's a piece of advice you could give someone who's looking to begin DJing?
Yeah, so, play music you love that comes from the heart. Don't feel like you need to subscribe to a certain genre. Don't feel like you need to label yourself as a certain genre. Um, we're all multi-genre technically. But play what you love. Um, there's things such as phrasing and key that will really help you in your set sound good, like as a skeleton. But just remember that this is an art form. It's just a different type of creative medium. And as an artist of many crafts, I found that the learning process was very similar to just learning a new art program like Photoshop or something like that. There's no substitute for having an ear for the music you love. So just remember that, this is a creative process and you can be different. There's no set way to do it. Just, yeah, like tell your story.
Very nice, all good points. And for more information on, like, key and phrasing, you can check out the, instructional video we made for the, application
It's very
process.
good. It's very good.
Alright, everybody, that will do us for the interviews. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Reverie.
Bye.
And,
Thank
bye,
you.
everybody.